The Disney you knew is gone. The Disney that you, of the era of watching Aladdin and the Lion King, now has culturally insensitive warnings behind it. I think I want to talk a little bit about kind of where this all stemmed from and why I'm so frustrated with Disney. The backstory to, I think, what started all of this, why I am really this mad at Disney. And this stems back to last March. Last March, at the beginning of the year, I was given clearance that I did not have cancer. I went through a screening to see if I had breast cancer. It was the most horrendous time period of my life, and it has profoundly changed my outlook, my perspective. It's also made me, in a sense, people would say, oh, like you would think you would be like kumbaya over everything. It's actually the opposite. I'm more honest, I'm more authentic. And I feel that I have to be, because it doesn't serve anyone in life to be fake or be a fraud. You have to be authentic and state your true opinions. And I obviously have been posting a lot of videos on this channel talking about a lot of the negativity about Disney, and those things are all true. They are just not the company that they once were. And you can't compare the Disney of the golden era and say the golden era of Lion King and all these movies that were coming out, but now we have movies that have a warning that comes on at the beginning that says this is insensitive. It's like, obviously, there you go. This all started last March. So I went to Disney World in March to celebrate getting benign results saying that what I had been screened for was not cancer. And a lot of you may come back in the comments, and I totally agree with you, and where you're going to say, obviously that should be your focus and that should be what is most important, and I totally agree with you with that. I'm not arguing that. But I went to Disney World to celebrate life. So we are at the Magic Kingdom, and the crowds are looking crowded, but I would say a drop better than the last time I was here, and just being happy. And so I went to Disney World. I bought the Pixie Pass. I didn't have tickets at that point. I stayed for over a week at Port Orleans Riverside Resort, and I went there with the best of intentions. I did not go there in any way to be negative or to not be promoting them. Like, if anything, I had it in my mind, like a fantasy, I was going to be the new Stacy. Guys, look at all the treats. They all look so good. Hi! Look how cute this is. And which, if you're familiar with Disney, Stacy was this person who would go out and show you the must-dos of Disney. So I was very, very, very pro-Disney. And I went there with the attitude of, I love life and I love being here. So I was in a very... good mindset. I did not go there with any intention to pick on Disney or to point out flaws that I saw. And that's why I get so upset with them, because I went there and it was like an 8-night stay, if I remember correctly, at Port Orleans. Guys, how are you all doing? I'm back on my Sony ZV-1 because I charged it. Not only did I charge it, but I charged the other battery as well. So hello guys, how are you all doing? And during this time period, which at Port Orleans, which is my favorite resort there, I endured one thing after another staying there at Walt Disney World Resort. I mean, it was just one thing after another that happened, from being verbally, creepily accosted by the housekeeper that was doing the room inspections, which a lot of people don't know about. Obviously, at the end of the day, I told you guys that this cast member asked me if I had Haitian in me. It was like this whole like creepy context, and we could get into that in another video where the room inspections are just a violation. There's an expectation when you're staying at a resort that someone's not coming in your room, you know, and they can come in your room, I think, all the way up to like 8, 9 o'clock at night, obviously, or you're changing or you're showering, and it's like, it's a whole mess there. And so I was harassed with the room inspections throughout the trip. It wasn't even like a one-time occurrence. It went multiple days. They didn't properly take care of it. I was harassed by their lower level management at the hotel. I had a horrendous experience with DAS at Epcot where, and I think this stems from the fact that you have people overusing and are abusing the system with DAS, and you know, that's not my problem. And you also have it where Disney doesn't want to have people using DAS because they want to make it as unattractive as possible, so that way you'll just buy fast passes. And again, anyone who's familiar with DAS is not a fast pass. You're waiting 4 hours outside the line. But I was very, very badly harassed with that. He didn't believe me. He thought basically I was a pretty girl and this and that. It was disgusting behavior. I had racial incidents at the hotel. I had, like, I don't know, cast members that were only speaking to me in Spanish. It was just not a great experience. It was just like one thing after that. I had a cast member who was doing security at one of the monorail hotels. I think he was stationed at the Polynesian. Hey guys, well, I am just at the Polynesian Resort here at Disney World, and I'm just gonna walk around and shop a little bit and see what there is to do here. Ooh, this is the resort that has the turtles. The turtle stuffed animals. I may have to check that out. I don't think the metal detector even set anything off. First of all, they don't even use a metal detector. They use a very sophisticated device of security that shows like the outline of potentially, you know, not okay objects. And so it's not like a metal detector. So he was like wanding my butt. Like he took the wander and like he was like really wanding my butt. And what's ironic is I think I was actually wearing shorts just like this. They were like these really tiny, I don't know if you can see them, tiny little booty shorts. And he was like wanding my butt. The irony is I think these are the exact same shorts I was wearing. And so there was a lot of creepy stuff that happened, and it was really like one thing after another. And this obviously is probably not even the entire list. And this was stuff that happened one after another within this 8-day trip. And again, I went into this trip with the best of intentions, really in a good headspace, a good place, wanting to enjoy this trip. So I don't feel that it was the energy I was giving off. Or again, I reiterate, I did not go there with any intention to take down Disney. I went there to have a good time, and if anything, I wanted to promote them. That's why I bought yearly tickets and everything, the Pixie Pass, even if it had restrictions. And it was just, that's kind of where it all stems from. I am disgusted at them. I'm truthfully disgusted at them. You have a lot of people that are not happy with Disney right now. That stems from political reasons or ideological reasons, or, you know, people who have a problem with like certain things they're doing, and that's not even where it's coming from for me. I'm not saying yes or no, those things are okay, yes, no. I'm not even getting into that. What I'm saying is, for me, my issue with them stems from how they treated me personally. That's where this is coming from. And it was disgusting. It was disgusting. They treated me terribly. I think a lot of people would say in the comments, well, I think the problem with Disney is a bigger issue. It comes from like a top-down model where there's a lot of problems with this company. And the things I experienced because of those top-down issues. There's a lot of problems with this company, and they throw you some breadcrumbs here in psychology where they breadcrumb you. You know, they don't charge you for parking, and finally they caved with, I think I heard that they caved with the union, and it's like, but there's still this company. There's still this company that everyone's arguing with. And I do think to an extent, I've been throwing around that word trauma bonded, but I really do think to an extent we are trauma bonded. A lot of people who grew up with Disney, millennials especially, to this company, because we remember it as what it was. It was our escapism when we were young. This is where you went on vacation and you're going there for your dose of escapism, and what you're realizing is the Disney you knew is gone. The Disney you knew is gone. The Disney that you of the era of watching Aladdin and the Lion King now has culturally insensitive warnings behind it. And I get a ton of comments. Most of my criticism on my channel either comes from, a portion is probably people who aren't the most balanced, honestly. They probably like live in their mother's basements. But the other huge portion is actually people who work for Disney or Universal. And I've been able to actually see that either by them actually saying I work for the company, or by Googling them or something, or clicking on their channel, and you'll see that they work for the company. And to those people, I can say, unless you're like a big executive, you're probably at the end of the day an hourly or a very low yearly salaried worker. Why do you care so much? And then I went to Universal. Universal Studios, guys. This is my first time here. That is the Universal Ball of Joy right there. So let's go have fun.
Hi there. I need to activate my finger.
Okay, you're good.
Thank you.
Yep, happy birthday.
Thank you.
So we just got to Universal Studios. I am super excited. Yellow car thing that people are taking a photo with. You can take a photo with the yellow car for my birthday. And the experiences I had there was a lot, I think, due to just poor management. I didn't feel like it was as personal. Like Disney, I felt like they personally harassed me in multiple ways. And I do feel like that is in part appearance-based. I think anytime it's basically a girl that's decent looking that walks around Disney, you're going to have a problem, honestly, where you're going to catch the attention of cast members and they're going to go, you know, Mean Girls style on you. And that Disney Mafia mode comes out. And so I went to Universal, and there were pros and there were cons about the Universal trip. But the cons were not targeted at me. They were, a lot of the issues I talked about with Universal was that there were security issues at the hotel. There were, you know, I saw that there were homeless walking around the property, things like that. That there are things that Universal needs to improve on to provide a better, safer experience for their guests. And it wasn't necessarily something that was targeting me, whereas at Disney, I had someone directly doing things to, you know, waving on my butt and, you know, asking me weird, crude, inappropriate questions that you could take in some sort of weird way. And it was just, the Disney harassment was much more intrusive than Universal was. But yeah, that's where a lot of my feelings have been stemming from. I think everyone is triggered in a different way as to why they have started to get on this bandwagon where they're talking about Disney. But, you know, I live in Miami, and who knows, one day I may live in Orlando, and I don't want to have it where I can't go into a theme park when that is the majority of what you do with your free time, or people are interested in seeing it in terms of content, or just as purely as I enjoy it. So I have to figure out in my head how to come to terms with things that have happened to me. But then the other part is obviously assessing and asking myself, will this happen again? I think that with Universal, you can wiggle your way around a lot of the issues I talked about. For example, the hotels, for example, like Sapphire and Up, seem to be safer environments than the other hotels that are situated with areas that have issues with crime in Orlando. And so there's an example in itself of how to improve the situation with Universal. With Disney, it actually doesn't feel so easy. With Disney, it feels like this is, again, some very in-depth issue with the current Disney company that honestly feels like it's only going to get worse. And so with that, I mean, it's the humor of like some of the stuff I talked about, like, oh, Disney wants to dress code pretty girls because they don't like their short shorts, and wearing very, very, very ridiculously appropriate outfits to curb them there, but to appease them. But I don't know if you can, even if you went into Disney and you went in there like, I'm gonna make this 100% day, I'm gonna like do everything in order to keep them off of my back. I mean, I don't know that that's possible. It's kind of a company rhetoric. I think that they may not be doing the room inspections at the Swan and Dolphin. That was the only suggestion I kind of came up with. But again, you know, there's no way to predict when a security guard is going to be wanding your butt. And whereas at Universal, they honestly didn't seem to give a damn or care, you know, what girls were wearing at Universal Studios. I was probably dressed very tame for what I saw there. Yeah, I like these talk style videos where I can share with you my thoughts and how I'm feeling. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys always watching. So if you're new, do click the subscribe, you know, turn on notifications. That way you know when I come on. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon in my next video, and bye.
Join today while visiting this land of tomorrow.